in a discreet underground facility just outside Geneva, beneath a fortress of biometric scanners, armed guards, and silence deeper than any known vault. Something extraordinary stirred to life. It was not a man, not a machine, not quite a dog either. Argo opened his eyes. His breath was steady, his heartbeat regular, his movements smooth. The fur along his back shimmered with silver-blue sheen, not dyed but coated. His muscles were lean but perfectly proportioned, the result of an algorithmic balance between strength and agility. His brain had never known trauma, never encountered the random mutations of chance. Every neuron had fired for the first time exactly as it was meant to. He was not born. He was engineered. Argo was a culmination of 8 years of quiet work by Nugenix Biosystems, a secretive biotech firm that had finally cracked the code of full genome editing in mammals. Not just splicing and disease resistance or eye color, but full-scale reprogramming, neurological mapping, emotion calibration, behavioral overlays. He was the first successful Gen Canis X prototype, the first genetically modified dog who wasn't just healthy, he was designed to be superior. But Argo's story didn't begin with science. It began with silence, with his creator staring in awe as, at just 18 days old, he recognized him by face. At 4 weeks, he could trace geometric shapes with his paw on a touchscreen. By 3 months, he understood over 400 words and responded to phrases like, "Why are you sad?" with vocalizations and gestures almost indistinguishable from human body language. But what no one expected, not even his creators, was when Argo began learning independently. One night, while the lab staff reviewed his vitals, the eye-tracking screen in his enclosure flickered to life. Argo, unprompted, began selecting symbols, then words, then, with eerie clarity, a question. Were the others like me? The lab went cold. It was a moment everything changed. The team had debated whether animals could be taught to mimic language. But this was different. This was sentience. Soon, Argo was speaking through the screen with increasing frequency. He asked for books to be read aloud. He watched documentaries and showed preference for certain speakers. He began requesting music, slow piano pieces, mostly, and one night, after hearing a recording of wolves howling in the Arctic, he pressed a paw to the speaker, held it there, and then typed, "This is what I dream." That's when someone leaked the video. It was grainy, only 30 seconds long, but it was enough. Argo sitting in front of the screen, tapping symbols with his paw. He spelled *dog, learn, think, free. It went viral in 12 hours. By morning, the world was divided. Was it real? A hoax? A marketing ploy? But the footage had the raw, uncanny feel of something authentic, something terrifyingly real. Nugenix had no choice but to respond. In a press conference broadcast worldwide, their spokesperson confirmed Argo's existence. She stood poised before a digital screen showing a DNA helix rotating slowly behind her. "Argo," she said, "is the next frontier of life science. He is disease-resistant, hypoallergenic, emotionally aware, and cognitively advanced. He was created not to replace natural dogs, but to redefine the possibilities of what companionship, service, and empathy could look like." The world reacted instantly. News networks couldn't keep up. One moment, tech billionaires were pledging support for further development, calling Argo a miracle of precision biology. The next, animal rights activists were flooding the streets, screaming into megaphones, just because we can doesn't mean we should, Papers ran headlines like, "The dog that might be smarter than you," and "Are genetically modified pets the new class divide?" The Pope issued a vague, chilling statement. Life not born in nature, but stitched in man's image, must be approached with trembling. And then came the turning point, the irreversible moment. At 3:42 a.m. on a Wednesday morning, Argo was gone. No alarms were triggered, no locks broken, no power outages, no evidence of human involvement. He had simply vanished. The only clue was one final message typed on his touchscreen. "I choose my own path." The lab fell into chaos. Nugenix locked down communications. Government agencies quietly intervened. But it was too late. The world now knew about Argo, and they wanted to know more. Where was he? Had someone stolen him? Was this an escape or a release? Within days, rumors began to surface. A woman hiking in the Swiss Alps claimed a strange, majestic dog saved her from a fall, then vanished before she could say thank you. A child in a remote village told his parents he'd played with a silver-eyed dog that spoke without barking. A blurry photo emerged from a gas station in Austria, a canine with a muscular build and haunting eyes staring directly at the camera. People wanted to believe. They needed to. Some said Argo had joined the wild, leading packs of stray dogs like a messianic figure. Others believed he had been recaptured by eugenics and silenced. Conspiracy theories bloomed. Was Argo the first of many? Were there more like him, hidden in labs across the globe? Was he now watching us, not as a pet, but as a peer? Meanwhile, eugenics denied everything, but their silence only fanned the flames. Underground forums began circulating documents, blueprints for canine neural upgrades, reports of prototype batches labeled Project Eden, and contracts signed by foreign militaries. People whispered that genetically modified dogs could be used as elite soldiers, living surveillance units, even bioweapons. And amidst all this noise, one quiet question echoed louder than the rest. What happens when our best friend becomes our equal? In the end, Argo became more than a dog. He became a mirror, reflecting everything we fear and love about ourselves. Our obsession with perfection, our hunger for control, our longing for connection, and our terror of what happens when those things collide. Maybe he's out there now, running under the stars, feeling the wind that no lab could simulate. Maybe he's found what he was seeking. Or maybe he's still learning, still watching, still waiting, not to be found, but to see what we become. Because once a creation learns it was created, the next thing it always does is ask why.